Good Monday evening, YouTube. This is Tired Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you guys have had a good start to the work week. Things ran a little bit late on my end once again. Being a landscaper during this time of year, things can get a little bit hectic. That being said, though, it's not a big deal. I'm here, I'm still posting videos, and at the end of the day, I can't really complain. You make money when you do that kind of stuff. But anyway, got a little bit to talk about with severe weather. It's nothing significant in the short range. A little bit more further out, we can briefly touch on that, and we'll start to talk more intensely on that maybe in tomorrow's video. But I'm just going to talk about really the next 48 hours. And also, I'm just going to say, don't worry, I will have a hurricane outlook video soon. I've been meaning to do that, but I keep saying, like I've been saying in past videos, but there's been a lot of severe weather. So, that being said, let's get right into it. So, before I even get into the severe weather here, we have multiple days ahead with a critical fire weather outlook. And this needs to be taken very seriously towards western Kansas and the panhandle of Texas, northeastern corner of New Mexico. Even if you're just in the elevated area, please be careful. If it's at all possible, try not to burn anything, because these areas have really favorable conditions for wildfire. Wow, I cannot speak right now. For wildfires to form and spread. And this goes on through the next few days as well. On days 4 and 5, these areas get bigger. The western half of Texas, we need to look out on day 5. And then almost all of New Mexico, we got to watch out. This even starts to spread into Colorado here, into southeastern Colorado. Then on day 4, we have a critical fire weather outlook that spreads from even Tucson all the way through central New Mexico. So please just be watchful and simply put, just try not to burn anything. But now that we've gotten that done, now that we've discussed that, now let's talk about the severe weather. So we had a marginal risk today. Very underwhelming threat. Very small threat area. Just the most southernmost part of Texas. That's where the severe weather threat is. Tornado threat's next to 0. Even though you know my saying that just because it's less than 2% or 5% doesn't mean that it's 0. And the hail and wind threat is all confined towards between Brownsville and Corpus Christi. That's the weather for tonight. These storms are probably going to be dying out shortly. Then when we look at day 2, we have a slightly larger area, an area that could potentially even go to a slight risk. I'm very doubtful, to be honest. That extends from the Georgia-South Carolina border. This includes Charleston, Columbia, and it extends into North Carolina, which includes Charlotte, Wilmington, and Raleigh. Even getting into Virginia, on the Virginia coast, we have Virginia Beach and Richmond included in the marginal risk. Tornado threat again is very low, and the wind and hail threat are 5%. Wind threat seems to be the most favorable element in all the 3 hazards, but I can't rule out any sort of hail happening in the northernmost area of the storm of the marginal risk. So got that. So we got that done, and then on Wednesday, we don't have any severe weather expected at the moment. This could change. There could be a pop-up isolated severe storm around this area, but I don't expect too much to come of this. Now, when we go towards day 5, that's when things start to change. We get a little bit of a step up here. We have a slight risk for day 5 already, and this includes Wichita Falls, Texas area, Fort Sill in Oklahoma, Norman and Oklahoma City are in this as well. Tulsa, you're in there. And it goes as far as Kansas even. Wichita, you're in this as well. It extends through central Kansas and even goes towards the southernmost part of Nebraska. With it being this far out, I'm not really going to go into too many details at the moment. I do think this kind of has the look of last week's storms, which looked like a isolated line, maybe even potentially a few embedded supercells here and there, or just isolated storms. Could be a good time for storm chasers, but that's all I really have right now as far as the days 4 through 8 are concerned. 6 days 6, 7, and 8 are predictability too low, so this is very prone to change. So I mean, I did remember if you do remember in my long range video that I did mention that we're still in a very active pattern, and this looks like it eventually is going to shift back to the east. I mean, like I said, some of that stuff was very far out, so it's very easy for things. So a lot of this stuff is prone to change, but it seems like we're on a very consistent track here with the active weather pattern. So now that we've discussed that, we'll briefly take a look at what the radar will look like over the lower 48 over the next 48 hours. So let's move this along here. This has been our primary troublemaker system here. This little upper level low that's hanging around in Canada, bringing a lot of rain towards the interior northeast, well, the northernmost parts of the northeast actually. I'm reading the map a little bit off, but thankfully this time I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys around here are tired of snow. Yeah, you're just gonna get a little bit of little light dosing of rain, and then here's the southernmost end of this storm system here, bringing in a little bit of moderate rain to the southeast. So we move this along here, and we start to see a little bit of redevelopment forming around noon, I would say, about the noontime tomorrow. Low starts to pop up around Virginia, and you could get a decent enough lapse rate for some hail by Wednesday. This moves off to the north and east. Low brings some cold air behind it. You could get some isolated snow showers, especially towards the Great Lakes. And then on the far back side of this, maybe western Maine might get some snow on Wednesday. Meanwhile, on the northeast, our next big player is taking shape, causing more unsettled weather around the northwest. Getting some snow in Montana once again, Idaho as well. You're in there too, and that's really all I got for you guys. Wyoming gets a little bit of snow too towards the higher elevations as well. So this is all I got for you guys. This is a quick little 48-hour forecast. Talked a little bit about the severe weather more than I thought, but even so, it looks like we'll keep this video will be under 10 minutes. I think this will be like the first, maybe second one I've ever done like that. But you guys have a good night. I will talk with you guys again tomorrow.